Food is really hard for us to come by right now. I can't seem to get full-time work. You just can't even imagine how much it helps us out.
Anything is a big help, you know. That's why I'm so happy when I came and saw that, you know, somebody cares, you know.
Things are short at home and you have an opportunity to get something and, you know, it's free. You have to take advantage when you have a family.
This place was booming all day, every day. Senior programming, congregate meals, educational platforms, computer classes, youth programs. And then when COVID struck, the only service we shifted to was emergency food distribution. We had a lot of families reaching out for services now, individuals that were no longer working or maybe were still working as essential workers, but needed the extra help because their children were now home every day.
A ellos les gusta mucho el espagueti.
Sí, sí.
Desde la más chiquita hasta el más grande.
Spaghetti.
Espagueti. Habla uno y no le niegan a uno las cosas, dice que tratan de ayudar lo más que a uno, que ustedes puedan hacia uno. Y la verdad, pues yo les agradezco mucho porque pues la verdad sí ayudan a la gente.
We operate 10 sites for Food Pantry. We were the ones unloading the commodities initially. We had a driver pick up from the food bank, deliver it here. Those 7 to 8 people, if we were fortunate enough to have that many, would break down that food, load it in vans, and take it to other sites.
9, 10, that's good.
This was when we were at 10,000 pounds a week.
Our first snapshots of the data, we were seeing numbers like 23% of households in the county had some food insecurity in the past week. Like, we've never seen food insecurity rates this high in April and May, as soon as we started getting that data back.
It's going to be a long line of cars all day long.
Yes, we're in Arleta, which is in the San Fernando Valley.
Today we are at All Nations Church at Lakeview Terrace.
We are hosting a food distribution in the city of Artesia.
El Carrizo Park here in Silmar.
At Victoria Park in Carson. So today we are planning for 1,500. If they miss this opportunity today, we will have one again next week. Gosh, you know, you bring me right back to March of 2020. There was such uncertainty. All we really knew was there was a virus. It was very contagious, and people were dying.
Emergency response at that point was solely focused on the public health emergency. Because of the pandemic, because so many people had been tossed out of work essentially, we knew that there was going to be a lot of hunger, and we created a food security branch and said, how do we coordinate and ensure that we've got a solid response here to address the hunger issues that we know are coming.
How many people in your household? How did you hear about this today?
We have fresh produce, we have oranges and apples, we have chicken items, meat products, we have shelf-stable items. So, you know, it's a fairly significant amount of food going to families who are coming through this drive-through distribution. The demand for food assistance increased so markedly in such a short time, and we did everything we could to stretch to meet that demand. Since the pandemic, we've distributed more than 262 million pounds of food.
We were very fortunate. We had a great partnership with LA Regional Food Bank. Being that it's a bit of their business normally, we took from them their lessons and applied them here at the drive-through food distributions.
So they had a conception of how it would work. What they didn't have was the resources, the sites, the facilities, all of the logistical support that the county brought to bear.
We had Public Works, the Internal Services Department, Parks and Rec, county libraries, all build a team to move forward with creating the drive-through distribution. And it was done overnight.
The reason I'm volunteering because this is my community. We have to take care of each other and make sure we get through this together. You know, the kids, their eyes are lighting up because they know they're gonna get to eat tonight. They're gonna be okay.
I enjoy serving the public, but now that the libraries are closed, this is an opportunity to do something else that's really needed and that the public needs. So a lot of these people before this food bank didn't know where they were gonna get their next meal from.
They worked these food distributions and compassion just came soaring out of each and every one of the workers. A number of the disaster service workers that were coming, they were also having a really tough time. They were part-time employees who really, in essence, lost their job, were getting a few hours working the food distributions to help their family.
Okay, so I think we're down to the last pallet and a half out of 11 pallets. So you see all of our team getting down, getting dirty, sweating, figuring out a way to load all these vans so everybody gets their fair share. And I think it's great teamwork. We had a lot of clients that were not ashamed, but they were a little intimidated in regards to reaching out for service. We heard a lot of like, oh, I've never done this before, so maybe I don't really need it. I'll leave it for somebody that really does need it.
We would see folks in the line that would drive up in a Mercedes-Benz, a Porsche, a luxury car that you would think, why are they in line? And then in speaking with them, it was people from aerospace that lost their job. It was people from the film industries lost their job.
Going to Hollywood, we saw people so grateful, and people who probably have never accessed government support programs because they've never needed to. It became a place where we would serve some of the highest numbers of people during the entire run of 160 some events.
Our survey data, we asked people a lot about their food access and how hard it was to get food. And overwhelmingly, folks that were regularly food insecure, many of them were saying, I'm having a hard time getting food because I don't have personal transportation, the stores around me are closed or have limited hours, and I don't have access to grocery delivery.
So our mission is to continue to deliver meals daily to our seniors who are homebound, who are most frail on a daily basis. Our drivers get to the building at 7 o'clock every morning, package the meals to go, and head out and do their routes.
The meal services came about because we had 14 community centers that provided free meals to our older adults. When the pandemic hit, they weren't able to come into our community centers, so we had to find a way to be able to get those meals to them so they wouldn't go hungry.
Good morning.
Hi, would you like them in the back or in the side?
Inside is fine.
Okay.
And I have 6 bags.
Great.
100% of my passengers that I'm seeing are very appreciative. Nobody will take it. Nobody, it seems nobody take ever for granted of what's going on, that they're getting foods.
Can you put that on the table over there for me? I would appreciate it.
Sure, no problem. Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Critical delivery services is a win-win because it not only helps older adults get the vital necessities they need, it helps drivers keep employment during a time of insecurity, it helps restaurants stay open, it allows us to do what we do best.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Some people don't like you to help them. And I'm from the country, and that's what we do. Neighbors look after neighbors. And I've never been on my own before. This is really something new to me.
So I think, the goal of serving people during the pandemic, we accomplished that. But before the pandemic, there was folks that needed food. We also know that in the future, there are still going to be folks in need.
we still have about 1 in 10 households that remain food insecure in LA County and that are regularly having this experience in a given month. To me, that means it's even more critical that we're growing this gap in people who are able to eat well and not. Like, we really need to eliminate food insecurity and think about transforming the food system so that it supports good health for everybody.
We had to really think about the role of government in serving its citizens, serving its community. You know, when you're a policy wonk like we are, like I am, and you go out to a parking lot and you see families in need, it reminds you why you went into government in the first place.
I think our communities, especially those that are underserved, receive more services this past year and a half that they're typically accustomed to. But is there still more work to be done there? 100%. 100%.